can't live without, I can't live without you. I can't live without, I can't live without you. Try to be honest. I can't live without, I can't live without you. I can't live without, I can't live without you.
How you doing?
Each marriage for our couples is uniquely different and comes with its own set of strengths and challenges.
Oh, it's so good to see you too.
But for our couples, it's important to become completely vulnerable in order to build trust in an accelerated way.
As y'all know, we kind of know everything that's going on. We're kept abreast of everything. So you've been through a lot as a couple, but why is it that every time I hear about what's happening between y'all, we're talking about food and cooking? I mean,
I know.
what is that?
The cooking and food, that's what I need in my wife. I need that.
So did you not eat before you were married?
To me, I could grab anything on the go or I could make something easy and small, but I have a wife now. And she works.
Wow.
I mean, I could point out stories. It's more than just cooking and cleaning. It's like we had a housewarming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
I did all that.
Housewarming.
I kept it very easy for my wife. But then at the end of the night, when it's time to clean, the remark of saying, I'm gonna clean half the floor, it bothers me. Because now I question, are we mentally on the same level?
Mentally? You're questioning her
No,
mental
because-
capabilities based off of wanting to clean maybe less?
Okay.
I don't think that's what he meant like that, though. I think he's kind of messing up what he's saying.
Okay. All right. Before we even get to the mental part, why she want to clean half the floor, though? That's still kind of weird to me.
She cleaned half the floor?
Yeah, it's like she, at the end of the night, they had a housewarming at the end of the night. I guess they're cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's trying to say she's going to clean half the floor and he cleaned the other half.
Who's saying that?
Her. That's the problem he's saying he's having with that portion of it. Like, why would you want to clean half the floors? If you're cleaning, you're cleaning.
Who said nothing about clean? I didn't hear that part.
I'll put it like this. The night when it's time to clean, the remark of saying, I'm gonna clean half the floor, it bothers me. Because now I question, are we mentally on the same level?
Oh, I
Mentally?
So that's kind of weird for her to clean half the floor.
I mean,
if you clean it, just clean.
I don't know about mentally on the same level. Yeah, maybe his verbiage is wrong. But homegirl Katina, why you want to clean half the floors? Who cleans half the floors?
That's kind of
so
weird.
you want him to clean half and you clean half? It's not even a big house, so why you want to clean half the floors? That part I don't get.
Yeah,
Clean her
if you
mentally.
clean, just clean.
If you clean and just clean, that's weird. So I could get why he's annoyed at that. So okay, Olajuwon, I'll give you that.
Capabilities based off of wanting to clean maybe less?
I'll put it like this. No, it's not even like, I'll put it this way.
That's what you just said.
If I saw, no, 100%. But if I saw my wife cleaning at night or something like that, I'm not putting my head on the pillow to close my eyes knowing that it bothers my wife, that the place isn't sharp enough. And the fact that it happened literally like 2 days again after that, there's a level of where am I being met? Like you didn't, for a housewoman, you didn't handle it. As a wife, I felt like it wasn't met.
So I can understand feeling like, well, if there isn't a happiness or a partnership feeling at home, then why am I doing this? But to make it ride on something as trivial as cooking and cleaning, man, of all things, why does it matter?
Because it's impacting our marriage. I could feel it.
So how do you think that affects your trust with him?
It makes me feel like I'm with someone that if I do something wrong, they're gonna like threaten to leave me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to start thinking about us because regardless of what everything around us, this is real. What's happening?
Can I pause you right there? Do you think she doesn't think about y'all?
No, I think she thinks of I.
Wow.
I talked to her about laziness. It's just really, I feel like
All right,
there's a lot.
You think she's...
I think that's what he's coming from. I think his whole thing is like, is she lazy? I think that's what he's saying in his mind. Because he's saying like, all right, she want to clean half the floor. When I come home, I want something to be prepared. That means that she's been doing something, at least something for the day. So he's thinking, what if she's more lazy and she doesn't want to really do anything as opposed to what she's doing. He doesn't care about what she's doing. It's just does she have a mindset of not being a lazy woman? You know what I mean?
Okay.
You see what I'm trying to say?
I hear what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, but that's right.
I noticed that a lot of times he says my wife a lot. So I think in his head, which is not a bad thing. So he has this grandiose thing of what a wife is and what a wife should be, because with every word, my wife comes after it. My wife. So he has this big thing.
Oh, he has this picture of a wife.
This picture of a wife, because my wife should. Okay, that's cool and all. He has to also keep in mind that it's called married at first sight. So he had a life before this that was a wild guy. You know, watching the previous episodes, she was single previously.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they came together and said they're going to get married, so obviously this is what process are we in? What, it's not even a month yet. We're talking about 2-3 weeks process.
Yeah.
You have to give her you have to give her grace. You have to give her some time to grow.
Oh, so
you have to give her some time to come into herself from being single.
But okay.
From being
I know what you're saying with
married
that,
is something
but
different.
the reason why he's a little scared of the whole thing is that he's saying that if this is not a natural reaction for her for these things, then maybe it's not her naturally. That's what he's scared about.
And maybe it isn't. And maybe it isn't. And maybe it isn't. And if it isn't, so what? Because it's a lot of things in a relationship that's not natural, but you can grow into them. When we got together, I couldn't cook, but I learned.
Well, you could cook a little bit.
You could. Keyword a little bit.
Yeah.
And now I could cook
super young.
And yeah, but now I could cook a lot of it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
okay. Right.
No, you grow into these things though, babe. It's like you have to. It is a word for me in my vocabulary.
Right.
You have to give her time to grow, and then to add insult to injury, you can't just call her lazy. Like, oh man, come on, like you hitting.
I know he shouldn't have probably said it like that.
You hitting her ego on
because
every level.
They haven't been together long enough, just like what you said, for him to label her as lazy, because he doesn't really know the full potential of her.
Exactly.
So,
and then he has this macho thing. He has this macho thing, that, I'm a man, and he's a good looking guy.
Maybe she doesn't want to jump in like to show those kind of things right now, either, because it's too early for her too.
And then
so I
with him acting like that, he ain't gonna get much more.
Lazy?
When it comes to our marriage, you're just caring for the other person. The effort isn't there. It's really triggering. I'm not being met.
So it almost sounds like you have this idea of what marriage looks like. You have this idea about what a husband looks like, what a wife looks like.
No.
And
yes, you do.
Unless she looks 100% like that off the bat, you're going to talk down to her.
Right.
You're going to say she's not grown.
That part.
You're going to say she's lazy. That's what it's coming across as. I would hope that that's not what's actually going on, but as an outsider, that's what it looks like.
No,
and I would love for her not to think that.
No,
she's the most important person in your life.
She knows that. I just feel like,
Katina, do you know that? What is the struggle
He's
there?
stressed out.
It's just his tone. Like, I feel like someone's beating up on me.
I know, it's the way he's doing
like,
it.
some of the things that he's saying, they're already like insecurities that I felt before this process. To be married to someone who calls out your like insecurities.
Calls out your faults.
Do you wonder, will it all work out? I wonder, we all have our doubts.
It just makes me feel like I'm not I'm not good enough.
It's horrible.
Now
I'm
there's
sorry.
a change in me.
Aww.
To be married to someone who calls out your like insecurities. It just makes me feel like I'm not good enough.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly
It's
how
just
I
hard
feel.
for
Like,
me.
come on.
When you're telling me that I'm lazy or like things like that, that's all the echoes that I'm hearing.
He don't
in my
care.
mind. So your tone.
He's like,
and
you better go cook after you finish
words that
crying.
you choose, even though it
Care
might
about
be your
this.
truth, they're also very harsh.
You know what? I think he really cares about her, but I think it is actually scaring him that she's.
He cares about her aesthetically, like he likes how she looks.
I don't think so.
But
I don't think so. Because I don't think he has problems with getting women that look good. I don't think that's his problem. There's other things. He's saying, okay, you look good. I've gotten past that part. I want to see what you can offer now in regards to you not being lazy.
In 2 weeks.
I understand.
You know this is Married at First Sight. So you want her to give you the moon and the stars in 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Your energy, your tone, that is what you need to work on.
I hear that.
What did you hear her just say?
It's my tone. I have to work on my tone.
Tell her, I hear you say that I need to work on.
I hear you say I need to work on my
You see,
tone.
he's just rushing it off.
My demeanor.
What else?
That's really it. I heard all that.
And pointing out her faults and insecurities, especially when they're triggers for her,
Right.
that's not taking care of your wife.
Also, but he doesn't even know what her triggers are yet. We literally not that far in the relationship.
Hence.
So
why we
he's
stressed
learning.
Exactly. So why we stressed out about cooking? If you don't even know like her triggers, how about you learn about those things, and in the process she'll learn what's important to you, and she'll do better because she looks like she cares about him. Okay. So as you learn what's important.
But you can also see that once she said, hey, you know, the lady said, hey, these are triggers for her. You can see it in his face, like he kind of saying, you know what, maybe I'm a little wrong about this.
Nah, dog, I ain't see that. I ain't see that.
Okay.
I saw, okay, yeah. Okay. So you gonna cook her now? That's what I saw. I didn't see that. I'm being honest.
All right.
You're my wife. There's gonna be things that are just expected to be done. The same thing with me. I'm your husband. There's things that are expected to be done. Those are big moments for me where I'm like, I need my partner.
Such big moments. I don't
They
understand. I feel like somebody
has this stuff
taught
though.
you something that is gonna make you end up divorced several times. Because that expectation of marriage, of what real life marriage looks like, I just think like it's gonna topple over. I feel like I don't really know how I'm going to help you if you have this archaic idea about, and very flimsy idea about what makes a good wife. Especially because I believe that physical and emotional intimacy are so precious, and that's what life is all about with a partner. If it's hinging on cooking and cleaning, it's too flimsy of an argument. You're not gonna make it with anybody.
Okay, so to reel it in though, nobody wants a nasty wife. I'm just saying, right? Yeah. So to reel it in, you don't want a nasty wife. You don't want a wife that can't cook you a meal. Yeah, if you come home, you know, you want a hot meal. You want your wife to be able to cook. But the pressure that he's putting on cooking and the pressure that he's putting on cleaning, it makes it feel like a bigger chore than it really is, or it really should be, because the cooking and cleaning is such a minute part of a relationship, but it's putting so much emphasis on it that it feels like cooking and cleaning is like 80% of the relationship.
But it feels as though with him though there's a reason why this bothers him. What if he has a trigger?
Okay, so that's something he has to work on. He can't put that on her. If this is something,
but he's got to put it out there that this is how he feels.
It's nothing.
All right. So okay. What if he did this? Right? He's telling how it feels from. It's just been weeks. What if he did this months down the line? He's been thinking about this, and then all of a sudden one day he just like I can't do this anymore because you don't clean. You seem like you're lazy, and he starts saying all of this stuff. You're like, when did this come up?
But you heard what she said though. I don't mind him telling me these things, even though they're triggers. It's his tone. Because when he talks to her, it's very demeaning. Like it's just the way he does it. It's like it becomes. It's not like Katina, you know, I like a woman that could cook. I'd love for you to cook. It's like, look at you. You lazy. You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. You only want to clean half the house. And you did
not do it like that. I don't. Okay.
It's not that. It's everything.
No, I'm telling you it is because I'm an expert in this, and I know
I'm saying about myself though. It's not about the cooking and cleaning. It's
okay. So outside of cooking and cleaning, what is it that you think she needs to grow in this way in order to not be lazy and not show that
that's
she's
such an awful
ambivalent about
word.
our marriage.
Maybe I was expressing it the wrong way. Like, it's frustrating because I care for you.
I know he does. I can tell.
I get emotional because when you feel like you're giving 100,
Say I.
when I feel like I'm giving myself and I'm not being met. So it's tough when I talk to you and I get no reaction. And I express how I feel.
This is different.
Because I can't grow
It's
if
not
I
the
don't
cooking.
know how you feel.
It's not the cooking. It's not the cooking. No, keep it going.
It's
Not the cooking.
frustrating.
It's not frustrating, it's scary.
It's scary. It's scary.
Okay, wait.
Please open up. The
Oh,
cooking,
man,
cleaning,
okay.
you don't have to do that.
Oh
every day.
snap. Okay.
Okay.
So it's not. It's not the cooking and cleaning then. It's you can tell him building up to it, right? It's not really that. It's just the point of communication. So basically, this is coming from this is the core of what the situation is, and this is just one of the branches that's coming off that core. So basically, if you go back to the root or where the core is that he feels as though when he expresses himself and he feels like he's giving 100%, she doesn't reciprocate.
Okay. Yeah. So it is based on communication, and because I watched the previous episode, I believe. Yeah, I watched the previous episode where she talked about. He did talk to her before about opening up. To be honest.
Okay.
And her reasoning was her previous relationship. Her boyfriend was possibly verbally abusive, so if she would show emotions, he would be like, suck it up, what you crying for, what you doing, so
Yeah.
she's learned to kind of she's learned to cover her emotions and like not show them.
Yeah.
So now she's met a guy that wants her to show her emotions, so now in her brain she has to kind of backtrack or make a turn to say, okay, now I can show my emotions. Now I can be vulnerable again. Because the last time I showed vulnerability, it was met.
Yeah.
And I was insulted for being vulnerable. So now, so her
both
walls,
of them are having
her
some
walls
kind
are
of
all the
issues,
way
yeah.
up. So the communication is, he wants to see her cry. He wants to see some kind of emotion. And some girls are like that. Some men are like that. So he don't like it because he's very emotional, I guess. So he's coming from a whole different perspective now.
Yeah, something.
Get those things out because that's the only way I could kind of bring it to you. You see, I am emotional with this marriage. You can see my frustration is coming off of the lack of.
She
of
got
feels
her back.
better.
She looks happy.
Yeah, she
again.
feels better.
How
She
do you
looks
feel
better.
about what I'm
Some of the
saying,
bags
about
went
how he's saying, what he's saying?
I hear what you're saying, and I am going to try my best, my very best, to be more vulnerable and open with you and tell you what's on my mind, tell you my thoughts. I'm serious when I tell you that I do want to be married to you.
I don't want you to operate from a place of fear anymore.
Yeah.
If you don't share with him, he's not going to know you well enough to be able to say yes to staying together on decision day. Okay?
All right. That's good. Yeah, so basically, so if you notice that, just like what I was saying about the core thing, some of the times people are arguing about things that's very trivial and you don't really realize it, that is coming from a deeper source, and you got to get to that source because those things can have so many different limbs and things that's happening. Person is a little bit lazy, person is coming in late at night, person is drinking, person is smoking. It could be a whole bunch of different devices, but it always triggers from something that either vices.
What kind of device?
Vices, not devices, vices.
Oh, if I said device.
No, it could be all kind of. So wait.
I'm just wondering which device we were talking about. I just wanted to be clear, but okay, you said vices. So I'm like, which one of the devices we're using? Which one are we talking about? Okay.
So the vices, right? So I'm saying like it could be a whole bunch of different things. So basically, the moral of the story is make sure we
not the mortal. The devices and the mortal. I'm keeping track. Go ahead.
Okay.
The moral of the story, not the mortal. Okay, go ahead with the moral of the story. What's the moral of the story?
I did not say that. Okay, all right, never mind. Basically, I'm just saying, yeah. Just forget it.
No. I want to know the moral.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, okay. All right, just forget it.
No.
I'm done.
No.
I'm done.
I want to know the moral.
Stop saying the moral.
I want to know the moral of the story.
I did not say that.
Wait. I want to know the moral of the story.
So we done.
What is okay?
Are we finished or we done? We done?
What is it? What is it though? How you want to wrap it up?
That's what I'm saying though.
What
like,
device?
Oh, okay, that's it for me. I'm sorry, I'm done now. I'm done. All right, okay. We're done.
Okay, wrap it up, baby. I always gotta wrap it up.
No, I'm saying no. I'm really saying though,
Serious.
it needs to. There's some kind of core issue that's probably going on, and they're taking it out on each other in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I mean, they just need to try to recognize where the issue is coming from. You know, a lot of times people sometimes upset the whole day for something very small, and you're like, so you're really upset about me not buying you lunch or something like that, and then you realize
really
that,
not about
you
the
know what,
lunch.
it's not even about the lunch. For weeks now you've been ignoring me, and all of a sudden you start talking about all the things that's underlying. I'm gonna try to say my words properly because underlying issues.
It's underlying.
Or underlying issues.
So.
All right. Okay. We're done. We stop.
Oh, wait. We didn't give the moral. We didn't.
All right. Say your part. Just forget it.
Okay. So, the moral of the story for me, is that communication is key. We say that so much over and over and over again in marriages, and man, we got to keep beating that over each other's head. Communicate. It's so important to communicate, because if we communicate, man, we could solve a lot of issues. And I'm not talking about the fake communication. I'm talking about what's really wrong, like what's really bothering you, because that's so important. Because they could have saved themselves that heartache of her crying a while ago and him saying all those things to her, which would still probably be in the back of her head, and him feeling that emotional if they had just communicated. This is the reason why I feel like you have no emotion for anything. So therefore, it makes me not know who you are. And then she should have told him, well, this is where I'm coming from and this is why, and I'm going to try to open up more. You know what I've been through in the past, and I'm going to do my best. Boom, bam, bam, bam. And not that's going to solve everything overnight, but if you communicate little by little, let me tell you could solve a lot of things in your marriage before it starts going crazy. Actually, Katina and Olajuwon are like my favorite couple.
Oh, really?
On this Married at First Sight, and
I like them.
I love them together, and I'm hoping that they make it. So I want to see, maybe we'll do another one when it comes down closer to the end to see if
they made it.
If they really made it. But yeah, I would say communicate, right? It's like I'm communicating to you that it's vice and not device, and it's not overlaying. It's not overlaying issues. It's not underlaying issues. It's underlying. Right?
Are you done?
So this is my communication to you. So we have to communicate all the time in order to get to the next level. There's levels to this. Okay.
So that's we can stop.
So that's the moral from my story.
The moral.
I can't live without you.